Imagine the airlock fails. One moment you are inside, warm and breathing. The next, you are exposed to the raw vacuum of space, with no suit between you and the void. Here is the truth that movies get wrong. You would not freeze instantly. You would not explode. What actually happens to a human body out here is stranger and far more unsettling than any of that, and you would have about 15 seconds to do something about it. To understand why, you have to understand what space really is. It is not cold, exactly. It is empty. Almost no air. Almost no pressure. On Earth, the atmosphere presses on every inch of you, and your body pushes back, in perfect balance. Remove that pressure in an instant, and that balance shatters. The very first thing you would feel is your own body trying to boil. At near zero pressure, the boiling point of water drops below your body temperature, so the moisture on your tongue, your eyes, the fluid in your tissues begins to bubble and fizz. It is called ebullism. Astronauts who have survived chamber accidents say the last thing they felt was the saliva boiling off their tongue. But here is the myth we need to kill. You would not burst. Your skin and your blood vessels are tough, elastic, and they hold you together. You would swell, puffing up to perhaps twice your normal size as gas expands under the skin. Uncomfortable beyond words, but not fatal, and not an explosion. The real danger is your lungs. If you held your breath, trying to save that last gulp of air, the gas inside would expand violently and tear the delicate tissue apart. The counterintuitive rule that vacuum chamber crews train for is simple. If this ever happens to you, breathe out, empty your lungs, and let them collapse safely. Then comes the clock that really matters. With no pressure, oxygen cannot cross from your lungs into your blood. Worse, the oxygen already in your blood is pulled back out into the vacuum. Your brain is starving within seconds. You have roughly 15 seconds of useful consciousness before the lights begin to go out. And what about the cold? Surprisingly, freezing is the slowest threat. A vacuum is one of the best insulators there is. With no air to carry heat away, your body loses warmth slowly through radiation alone. You would lose consciousness from a lack of oxygen, long before you ever froze. The sun, though, is merciless. With no atmosphere to filter it, raw ultraviolet and cosmic radiation hit your skin directly. On the sunlit side, you would receive a severe sunburn in seconds. Out here, there is no shade and no protection, just the full, unfiltered fury of a nearby star. This is not just theory. In 1965, a NASA technician named Jim LeBlanc was testing a suit in a vacuum chamber when it lost pressure. He passed out in about 14 seconds. The last thing he remembered was the saliva boiling on his tongue. They repressurized the chamber, and he survived with no lasting harm. Others were not so lucky. In 1971, 3 Soviet cosmonauts aboard Soyuz 11 were killed when a valve opened during re-entry, venting their cabin to space. They had no suits. It remains the only confirmed loss of human life to actually happen in the vacuum of space. So how long do you really have? Stay calm, exhale, and you might remain conscious for around 15 seconds and survive without permanent. And even when the body survives space, space slowly rewrites it. Without gravity, fluids drift into the skull and swell the face. Bones thin, muscles waste, the heart grows lazy, radiation scars your cells, and your eyesight quietly warps. We did not evolve for this place, and our bodies never let us forget it. We are creatures of a single, thin layer of air, clinging to one small world. Step beyond it unprotected, and the universe reminds you, in about 15 merciless seconds, just how fragile that miracle really is. Out here, in the dark between stars, survival is measured not in years, but in heartbeats.